world surrounded by franchises, reboots, and shared universes. An elite team of podcasters will risk body and soul to investigate the depths of intellectual properties, one multiverse, subgenre, and trend at a time. Who are we? We're the IP Squad.
Welcome back to the IP Squad and our ongoing investigation into films based on the King Arthur legend. I'm John Campbell, my partner, of course, for this investigation, Kinsey Campbell.
Hello.
Kinsey, this is, in doing this show, I have to, when we pick a topic, I have to, of course, find all these movies, and sometimes TV movies, but mostly theatrically released films. And, of course, sometimes even I'm surprised by some of the movies I found. And this week's movie is definitely that case. I had never, ever heard of this film.
No, I was unaware of it.
This is, we're still in 1963. And this is Sword of Lancelot, as it was released in the United States, but as it was released in England and other countries, Lancelot and Guinevere.
That makes sense.
So it was,
that is what this movie's about, is those two.
Yeah, so this is, from 1963. It is written, produced, directed by, and starring Cornel Wilde.
This was his dream.
This is an auteur film. Interesting. This guy, obviously, this was a passion project of his, and he was a noted actor of the time. I don't think you were familiar with him at all.
I was not familiar with him.
I'm trying to see. I don't think you would have seen anything.
Yeah,
I'm just looking through his.
Not familiar.
I mean, there's a couple things that might have come your way, but I wouldn't say anything that was big that you would have been once again, that would have. He did do a couple of screwball-y comedies, but not super well-known ones that I feel like you would have seen. He and Ginger Rogers did a movie called It Had to Be You in 1947 that seems very up your alley.
Oh, I mean, it sounds like something I'd be watching.
Yeah, I know you're a Ginger Rogers fan, so yeah. Anyway, check that out from 1947.
Okay, I'll add it to my.
I would say probably his big movie is a movie called Leave Her to Heaven. Which is with him and Gene Tierney. Vincent Price is in it.
Oh, so you might have seen it.
Yeah, I have seen it. It's noirish.
Okay.
Anyway, and it's all right. I like Gene Tierney a lot. She was a big femme fatale figure of noir. And apparently he's in High Sierra, which is a great Bogart movie, but they say he just has a small part in it. So anyway, he was a guy who was around, but probably he's definitely better remembered than Robert Taylor of our first week's movie. And yeah, on a kind of an anomaly at the time as a guy who was making his own stuff too.
Yeah, I was surprised.
Yeah,
because I did not think of that as something a lot of actors were doing in the 60s.
No, exceedingly rare. I mean, I don't know exactly. I can't say that that no one was doing it, but I mean, I would say the only precedent really that I can think of for this was Orson Welles, but that would have been before this. And he was a rare commodity in that way. But yeah, he really seemed very serious about producing and directing his own stuff.
And it's something.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things I was kind of bummed about, I really wanted to get more background on this movie, but it's just not. This movie is just forgotten. I mean, I'm not surprised I haven't heard of it, simply because there's no documentation. I found almost no information about this movie in any of my research about it. it almost instantly went into the public domain. Like, we just watched a YouTube copy of it because it's just everywhere.
Yeah.
But like almost immediately after its theatrical run, it went public domain.
I mean, that's bizarre. That got to be unique.
Yeah, it's a very it's very interesting. And but I have so many questions about it. Like, what was Wilde's clearly drive to want to do this movie and to cast himself and his wife? I don't know if you know that the woman who plays Guinevere was married to Cornel Wilde.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, this is his wife, Jean Wallace, and his producing partner as well. They had a production company together.
Interesting.
They were married.
So they just really
wanted
to be like
30 years from 1951 to 1981. They were married.
Wow, that's a long time.
For a Hollywood marriage. Yeah, she was still wife number 2 even in that, because of course it's the past.
Of course, yep, it's the past.
If I ever do the Robin Hood season I talk about, this guy also did a Robin Hood movie. So.
Oh, okay, so he'll appear again.
I suppose so. That feels inevitable. I feel like I'll get around to all the swashbuckling, like, medieval heroes eventually on this show.
That would make sense.
I will say he married Jean Wallace, the woman in this movie, 5 days after his divorce from his first wife.
Whoa.
That might indicate something.
You think something might have been going on?
I don't know.
That's also not uncommon for this era of Hollywood of divorce and then very quick another marriage.
They made a movie together called The Big Combo that I kind of want to see now. I don't think I've ever seen it. It's possible. It's a noir as well. It sounds like a noir, obviously, The Big Combo. But you can put the big anything, and it's a noir movie, basically. I mean, that really was a little odd how they named those movies, I feel like, was they were like, hey, people like The Big Sleep. Well, we're the big this.
Just keep making those.
Lady in this, like whatever was a popular one. If we can,
Lady would be popular.
Yeah, if you can rework the title of something popular, great. So anyway, all that is to say, I know very little about this movie. I did learn a lot about Cornel Wilde, and interesting guy. I would love to. I don't know if anyone's written like a biography of him. I would love to read it, because it's just he just was doing stuff that people didn't do at the time.
Wow. I mean, that was obvious from this.
Yeah, I mean, the idea that he directed what did he say? I think he directed like 8 movies. So it's not like this was a one-off where, like, Charles Laughton is a famous actor who directed Night of the Hunter, which is one of my favorite movies, but that's it. He was one and done as an actor director, and there's a few of these guys. There's a few notable movie stars there who, like, directed a movie but this guy was actively working as both.
That's what I thought this was going to be, though. Like, oh, he did this.
Like, this was a vanity project kind of thing.
Yeah, like he did this once and that was it, but no.
No, this was his 4th film, and he directed 3 more after it, so.
Yeah, that was surprising to me.
Including he did a Jaws knockoff called Shark's Treasure. That was his last film.
Sounds like a kid's movie.
Shark's Treasure. I would be curious to see this. It's him and Yaphet Kotto are the stars. I love Yaphet Kotto.
Oh.
Yeah. It's on MGM Plus. I could watch it. It is
still available.
Yeah, it is definitely in the realm of, after Jaws, everybody Hollywood went shark crazy.
Well, of course.
Or
I made all the money.
Aquatic, because you also had Orca, and Day of the Dolphin and stuff like that. Alligator, right? Anything became like, what thing in the water can kill people? We'll make a movie of it.
Dolphin.
Yeah. Anyway, all that is to say, I'm wasting a lot of time because there's just not much to say about this movie. And I will say, I'm rooting for a Cornel Wilde, who I think is a good actor and I think had talent as a director. But man, this movie is a tough sit.
It is boring.
Boring is exactly right.
It is very slow.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's not a ton going on here.
No, there really isn't, and it's It's a shame, is what it is.
Yeah.
Some of it, I will say, is clearly didn't have resources because it's very hard not to compare it to the first movie we watched this season, Knights of the Round Table, which was definitely a big studio, big budget movie. This one, clearly, you can really see where corners have been cut to save money here.
Yeah, they don't have the budget for costumes and extras and...
No, this is the emptiest Camelot you've ever seen.
There's not many people in Camelot.
Yeah, it is real. It is real. There's not even... I mean, there's a point... Half of the round table is filled. There's half of the round table is empty.
Yeah.
When you see the knights. If there is not... yeah.
It's an interesting round table because it's cut in half.
Yeah.
There's like one half circle and then a gap, and then
it's
the
basically
other half
two
circle,
tables that if you put together create the round table, but they've kind of
only sit on one half.
Yeah, because they've kind of pushed the other half away because they don't really need it. Apparently, there's a shortage of knights of the round table at this point.
Yeah, they don't have many, and they're not doing a ton.
No, it's unfortunate. Yeah.
Yeah, this is a very it's like casual Knights of the Round Table and Arthur.
They all feel like
around eating, they're joking around.
Yeah, it really does feel like a workplace. It feels like we all came into work in the morning. And this is the most casual King Arthur I've ever seen on screen.
This is a very casual King Arthur. This does not seem like a guy who's going into any sort of battle. He doesn't even really seem like a guy who's doing a lot of leadership things.
No, he's very much just like, hey, Lancelot, what's up, man?
Yeah, he's very kind of jokey. It's a portrayal of Arthur I have not seen before.
No, and he's got we'll get into it. That attitude is weird throughout the whole movie, which really creates some bizarreness when you get into the Guinevere relationship and stuff. He's really hard to pin down why I should care about anyone in this movie. But yeah, this Arthur is very strange. This is Brian Aherne is the actor who plays Arthur, and this is the second time on this show that we have seen him play King Arthur, because back in our Pulp and Comic Strip Hero season, he played King Arthur in the Prince Valiant movie that we talked about with Robert Wagner.
So he just
where Arthur has a considerably smaller part in that movie, but the Prince Valiant story is adjacent to Arthurian legend.
Right.
So yeah. I don't remember anything about his performance in that. So, and like I said, Arthur
is it similar? Was this just his take?
Yeah, it's just I'm just gonna play him as a guy.
Yeah, pretty much. He's kind of just a guy. He doesn't feel because he keeps saying, I'm the king of all of Britain, and it's you don't feel like it.
Yeah, I'm the king. Whatever, things happen.
Yeah.
No,
it just doesn't.
It
give
does
off that regalness.
Nah, yeah, it does. It does have that, and everybody kind of has that. This whole movie is sort of lacking any majesty to it.
Yeah,
it just. This should be a big sweeping epic, and the movie wants to be this huge romantic tragedy.
Oh yeah, yes, it definitely wants to be a tragedy. Because at times I said, I was like, oh my God, it feels like a bad, Romeo and Juliet.
Yeah, I saw a lot of people accuse it of being soap opera-esque.
I don't care.
It's
very soap opera.
Because it's very melodramatic. All the romance scenes are just I love you, I do.
Yes. It's so over the top that you really can't get invested in it because you're no one is acting like a person. And everything is so dramatic.
And I gotta say, I think a big problem here is not that he's a bad actor, but Cornel Wilde is just not a good choice for Lancelot.
He's an interesting choice for Lancelot.
Yeah, he's because he's small of stature. He's not a bad-looking guy, but he's also just aggressively Hungarian, and no one else is.
Thick accent. Yes.
And no one else is, and I guess Lancelot in the stories is a French guy, so I guess you could. The idea of him being foreign to everyone else could work, but instead it just feels very awkward in the movie. And I gotta say, for actually being married to Gene Wallace, they have no chemistry.
They did not have chemistry. I don't think anyone would be invested in this.
Because once again, there's no scene where, even like the scene where they fall in love, because, man, I did not expect as much bits about soap as we got in this movie.
There's so much stuff about soap in this movie that you almost feel like it's like sponsored by soap.
By just soap as a concept,
Like
though, right?
Soap, not a brand, just soap.
Yeah.
Everyone's confused by soap.
Yeah. But
it literally starts. The movie starts with a scene about soap.
Absolutely.
Of Gawain thinking Lancelot has the plague because he saw him bathing in a river and there was white stuff coming out of his skin.
I mean, basically this idea is like Lancelot's the first guy cool enough to try soap. He's an early adopter of this newfangled technology, soap.
Yeah. Can you believe it?
And
he's like, I don't have the plague, it's soap.
It's just soap. Oh, you crazy knights of the round table.
Yeah.
The antics they get up to. And so then later when he goes and has to fight a guy to the death to
that was nuts.
to get Guinevere, there's a scene where they fall in love where they're frolicking like in a pond while they're washing up.
It's very weird.
But a lot of it is her going, "What is that substance?" He goes, "Why it's soap,
like,
my dear.
It makes your skin so smooth."
Yeah, she goes, "Slippery as an eel."
Yeah, like it adds soap.
Soap, you know.
It's really weird.
It's very.
And just the idea that they would be in that pond together and no one would be like, "Hey, that's weird."
We've talked about this. This doesn't have like stolen glances across the, castle or whatever. They're just so openly like all over each other.
Yeah, they're very touchy. I mean, they're in this pond all over each other.
Well,
and there's other people in their, traveling party who are seeing this, like,
and well before anything to do with like well before she's married to Arthur, but she's the intended of Arthur. So the thing that immediately this movie undercuts is Guinevere has no interest in Arthur. So there's no like love triangle. It's just, which also creates a weird dynamic for your investment in these characters, right? That you're just like, well, I kind of don't like Arthur, even though he is incredibly nice to her. If you're going to go this way, he should be then maybe a less likable character.
No, he's perfectly nice to her and does seem to care about her.
Yeah. And it's like, there's this whole bit when they get back to Camelot and he's like nervous about like, how am I going to meet her? I want to give the best impression. Where should I sit? Should it be on my big furry throne?
Yeah, it is. But he does have a throne that's just covered in furs.
He's got a big furry throne.
Which is interesting. But yeah, it's almost like comical or like silly, this scene of him talking to Lancelot and like, when she got to get here, she's taking so long. Mm-hmm. How long does this take? Like, so it's a bizarre. It's not a love triangle.
No, it's just Arthur is the problem for these two lovers to overcome.
Yeah, and she's just immediately in love with Lancelot and like, oh my god, my life without you would be horrible and I'll die. And
I mean, she literally talks about like she will die without him. I mean, it is this like grandiose, and the movie doesn't do a good job of building up that relationship enough to like, wow, where it's life or death stakes if we're not together. Man, it's a lot. So it's just a lot all of a sudden.
Yeah, this Guinevere was rough for me. She is very dramatic and is usually crying and always talking about we'll die, and it's just like, oh my goodness,
well, I think
take a breath.
You bring up that Romeo and Juliet thing, I think, for a reason, which is just like these characters that feels very immature, and I don't know how old these characters are supposed to be. Everybody seems like they're in their 40s.
Everyone seems fairly old.
Yeah, but they're.
I mean, she seems the youngest, but she still seems like she's in at least her 30s.
Let's see, how old was she here? Jean Wallace. This was 63. Yeah, hold on here. Yeah, she's 40 in this movie.
Okay, yeah, like it Romeo and Juliet, they're
Yeah.
teenagers.
Yeah.
So like of course everything's very heightened
Yeah.
and dramatic. This is like you are all adults.
Cornel Wilde is 51 playing Lancelot in this movie.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
That is the vibe he's giving off.
And
I am in my 50s. And Arthur seemed
Arthur is
pretty old.
61. There's like 10 years between each of them. It's wild.
So everything just feels weird.
Yeah, Arthur being older is can often be the case.
Yes.
Is that Arthur is older than Lancelot and Guinevere, but the idea that there's 10 years between all of them is just this like, and then everyone's acting like they're, because and we'll get to it. I'm always talking. I have to stop myself from talking about Borman's Excalibur because I do think that, and I'm not alone. A lot of people still think that's probably the best version of this. But he cast like teenagers as these characters.
Yeah, and that would have made more sense in this.
Yeah, he really makes it very clear. Like these are kids, really. These are young people thrust into these high stakes situations.
Yeah, this just doesn't have that, so it all just has this very strange feel to it.
You're like, all of you are too old to be acting like this. All of you.
Where you're just like, ugh, you're all driving me nuts.
I do want to talk about
Arthur probably the least because we see him the least.
But even he is still like, "Ooh, a girl is coming, a pretty girl is coming." Oh dear.
Yeah, and it's like you're 60. Which is just like, come on, man.
Well, one of the things you talked about too. I mean, like in the idea of not only does he not seem like a guy who's regal, it doesn't seem like a guy who's been through war. If you're going to cast an older Arthur, the guy should be not weathered per se, but like feel like the weight of having lived a life and been through. We'll talk about when we get to Connery as King Arthur. Regardless of what you think about that movie, I think that's something he brings out in the character is this idea about this is a guy who, heavy is the head that wears the crown sort of thing.
You don't get any of that.
No.
There's no weight on this guy's shoulders.
No, you can't. You're just like, this guy just seems like, hoo, ha, ha, I'm Arthur. This is great.
Yeah, he's just dancing through life.
The way he is portrayed and the way this movie functions makes it seem like Lancelot's betrayal is like the first bad thing that's ever happened to Camelot.
Yes.
It really is just like everything was going great and then it wasn't.
Yeah, and he has no idea how to handle it, and that just breaks him.
Yeah. I know you want to talk about Mordred and his bird, right?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
All I want to talk about is Mordred and his little shoulder bird.
Yeah, because this is Michael Meacham as Mordred.
Yeah, and most of the movie he has a little bird that sits on his shoulder that is never addressed.
No,
like he doesn't.
That's just
talk
like
about
that's
the bird. No one comments
that's his
on the bird.
thing.
It just is on. It's just with him.
Yeah, that's that. Right. Once again, that's just like his thing. That's what. That's what I do.
Want it to have a name. Yeah, and you can kind of tell sometimes that like the actor is like really still and stiff in his shoulders because I think he's so worried.
Yeah.
About
this live bird that's on his
it's a real bird sitting on his shoulder, and so you can tell that he's like, I gotta be careful and I can't make sudden movements because I have this bird.
Absolutely, it does. It definitely feels like that.
But yeah, it's a cute little bird. But yeah, it's just it's an interesting little touch to be like, Mordred, that's a little bird.
Yeah, for sure. And he is a real because I didn't see any. What he was even meant to be Morgan Le Fay in this. So it really is him as just like a gossipy bitch.
Yeah, he has a I don't know what their relationship is.
A consort,
like
I guess you would say maybe. Yeah. But she's never named and certainly doesn't have the like weight of a Morgan Le Fay.
No, she just brings him gossip.
Yeah. Ooh.
And then
what?
Yeah. They're usually like in
Did
the
you
corner
hear?
Gossip.
Yeah. Yeah, you just hear it's just a lot of him going, "Did you hear? Did you hear?"
Yeah, this Mordred's that. He's
Yeah.
not that much of a threat. He's just
he's
just
never
there to spread gossip.
He never really he's never he and to what end? He just once again he just seems to love the drama more than he seems to like. The Mordred we're used to is like, I should be the king.
Yeah, he is worried about Guinevere because he has this like soliloquy, I guess, where he whispers about like, if they have a child, then I'm even further from the throne. And so he's worried about that, and so that's why he's looking for gossip. He's looking for gossip on Guinevere, and his lady friend is there to provide it.
Right, yeah, and so it's just this thing about like, but yeah, we don't really get much of a sense of his. I mean, the movie really doesn't care about anyone other than Lancelot and Guinevere, really. Not even Arthur particularly.
Arthur comes and goes.
Like the Knights of the Round Table are like, I couldn't even really tell you which one was Gawain, which one was Gareth, which one was,
No.
It didn't matter at all. You get, and not that you have to know all of those guys super well, but yeah, like which one was Bedivere? Where was he? I don't know.
Whoa.
Like, I just looking at the cast list here. There's we're supposed to have Gawain, Dagonet, Bedivere, Gareth, Sir Kay, Sir Cedric.
There's like a guy who's sometimes with Lancelot, but I don't know which one he is.
I don't know either.
I don't remember his name.
I don't know. I have no idea.
Yeah.
Sir Tors, yeah. And then even Merlin is just like, there's a guy with a beard. I guess that's Merlin. He doesn't do anything.
I think that's why he doesn't do anything.
Not at all.
Really. He kind of like delivers information sometimes.
Yeah, it's really weird. It's just I've just never, the movie is it is just like, do you like the story of Arthur but wish it was way less exciting?
Yeah, like there's scenes where they're like, we're gonna go out on a hunt, and then like Arthur and a bunch of the knights go on a hunt. It's like, oh, we get to stay at the castle.
Yeah, Lancelot,
cool.
You stay here and look after Guinevere and definitely don't have sex with her.
Yeah, and he's just like, oh, we have to stay at the castle with these two.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that happens off screen, or like a guy will come back bloodied and go, someone attacked me. You're like, could we have seen that? No, we don't have the money for that. And it really, like even the poster and stuff like this movie is really like, no, because this is a romance. It's not an action movie. And that's shown because the times that they do have like battle sequences, they're incomprehensible.
They're they're hard to follow. There's so much stuff going on that you're like, I don't know where anyone is. I don't see any character I recognize.
It's just like a big scrum of guys on horses clanking swords and stuff.
Yeah, we're just like, wait, what's happening?
Yeah, who is anyone? Where is Arthur or Lancelot in this?
There's like a big battle sequence at one point. I didn't see Arthur or Lancelot during it. Yeah. It was just like a bunch of people, and it was like, wait, what? And I was just worried about the horses. I'm worried about the horses in these movies. It just feels so chaotic that I'm like, is anyone taking care of these horses?
No is the answer. They didn't care about horses back in this era of film. They were really rough on animals. This was no animals were hurt in the making of this movie. Lots of animals were hurt during the making of all these movies.
Yeah.
It's real unfortunate.
Yeah. So it's just and I do like that when we're in Camelot, that Guinevere keeps talking about, I don't want to hang out with the other ladies. There's like 6 other women in Camelot.
Yeah.
And she's like, I don't want to hang out with them because all they do is gossip.
Which is accurate to that woman who's hanging around Mordred.
Yeah, but I think I actually would have rather spent time with the gossipy Camelot ladies than Lancelot and Guinevere. They probably were more fun.
I mean, it's just everyone is so dull, yeah. Oh, man.
So, yeah. They eventually decide to start an affair. I don't know why. I guess because they've decided they're in love with each other.
The movie, I would say, as presented in the film, it's basically just like they're just magnetically drawn to each other. Seems to just be the thing. There's just some kind of star-crossed lover thing going on. Once again, getting back to the Romeo and Juliet thing. Just this idea that it's just like, no, we have to be together. Yeah. And just like,
that's pretty much it.
Okay. Sure.
I don't know much about either one, so I don't know what they have in common.
If you say so.
Yeah.
Yeah. It really is just like, it feels like that thing where it's just like, because that's what the story is. That's just what happens.
Yes. That's exactly what it feels like.
In King Arthur movies. So that's what's happening now.
That's what's happening now.
It's really, and even by the time you get to the discovery of the betrayal and stuff like this was one of those movies where you looked at the time, you're like, how is there still 50 minutes left?
Oh my gosh, so many times where it was like I thought it was over, and it's like we're not even halfway through.
Another 50 minutes. Because
I couldn't believe, once the affair was discovered, how much more movie there was.
Oh, it's crazy.
It was shocking.
It's crazy
that there's that much more.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it.
Absolutely. It's really man, yeah, that's the thing about it. It's really dragged because once we get into Arthur's discovery of the betrayal, we almost burned Guinevere at the stake.
That was nuts. That they're discovered, and Lancelot takes off and kills several people in Camelot.
Yeah.
And
which is a big jump. That's a big jump for him.
Which I was surprised. I was like, wow, he's killing people.
Yeah.
And then, it cuts to them finding Guinevere, and then, she's on the stake. I was like, whoa. We're making choices here, Arthur.
And then he's like, oh, no. Then Lancelot comes back and saves her, right?
But there's the weird scene where they're like preparing to burn her, and it's just Arthur in a room crying and going like, I can't believe what I've done.
Can you believe?
I just
what
can't
a dick
believe
I'm
I've
being?
done.
Yeah, it is really.
And he's like crying and stuff. He's like, dude, you could still stop it.
Yeah. No.
But instead he just pouts and cries and goes, I can't believe I've done this.
No.
I did one of the extras in the sequence where she's being burned really goes for it.
Yes.
This old man who's just sitting in a chair with this huge grin on his face, watching Guinevere be burned.
And doesn't he pull out he's like biting an apple and he's just like, this is gonna get good.
Yeah, like he's thrilled to be there.
Oh,
this is the
baby.
highlight of his year. He's just like,
I've been waiting all year for a good burning at the stake. It's been so long weird. Since we roasted a lady.
Yeah.
It's very strange.
That you're like, is he going to be a character? Like, no, he's just an extra.
But because the camera is doing this thing where it's like tracking through the crowd and showing people like different reactions of surprise or horror, or there are people being like, I can't look. And then just this guy who's got like a folding chair and an apple is just like, burn her! Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Am I right, everybody?
Let's get this party started.
A chair to this.
Yeah, I was just like, wow, that is so bizarre. It's so unintentionally funny too, right? You're like, that's what a weird. Why would you leave that in the movie?
I don't know. It's so funny.
Yeah, it really made us laugh. It was very interesting to see.
Yeah, and within this boring movie, it was just nice to have something where it's like, well, that was something funny.
That's very silly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway. So they don't, and then once Guinevere is rescued, this thing drags.
Yes.
Because then she's all of a sudden like pissed at Lancelot, and then you're just like, I don't know what you want, lady.
Yeah. Then she's really sad because they're now in Lancelot's castle.
Mm-hmm.
And she's sad about that, and she's crying, and it's just like, oh, Guinevere, you're exhausting.
Yeah, and then it's just like, and then it just kind of like peters out by like, well, here's where the Arthur story goes, right? You're like, oh yeah, Mordred murders Arthur, so Lancelot comes back and kills Mordred.
Yeah.
And in the meantime, Guinevere in this one, unlike the in the Robert Taylor version, of course, Arthur sentences Guinevere to be a nun. In this one, she's basically just like, I don't want anything to do with any of this. I'm going to be a nun now.
Yeah, that was weird. He goes off to war. She's concerned he'll die.
Mm-hmm.
And then while he's at war, she's like, I'll become a nun.
Yeah.
And he finds her there at the nunnery.
Yeah. And she's just like, that's what I do now. And he's like, shit.
Yeah, he's like, what? But what about everything we said
she's
to
like,
each other and our
it's
our love? And she's like,
it's a no
no.
for me, dog.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's really.
yeah.
Hey, and then that's
Earlier they talked about like if we're apart, then it means love has died,
yeah.
and then at the end she's just like,
I was
no, this was a little too much for
I
me.
was being
so
silly.
bye.
Look, you're great, but I'm like super busy with my nun work.
Yeah, pretty much. It's just like, oof.
Yeah, and
That's rough.
and he's just like, okay.
Yeah, I guess should I go?
I guess I should leave now because this is.
Should I leave?
She left me for Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah, it happens.
So then he leaves.
Yeah.
And that's how it ends.
And that's the end of the movie. Let me ask you this: would any of this have been more exciting as a comic book? Because Dell Comics did release a comic book adaptation of this movie.
What?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
It would
I
not
mean,
be
it would be briefer.
You'd get
me
through
see
it
if I
faster,
can
but
find-
I don't know why anyone would want to read this as a comic
Let's see if
book.
I can find this this comic book.
Oh man, that's so weird. I would
Um,
not have thought that.
man, oh, there it is. It's called Lancelot and Guinevere. It's a 12-cent comic. I'm gonna. Do you know how to open the chat here? I'm gonna throw it in the chat. There's a little button on the side there.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of pictures in there from other stuff, but I'm gonna throw it in. There's the Lancelot and Guinevere cover
Oh my gosh.
for the Dell. Yeah, knights in armor, Mortal Kombat, excitement and adventure in Camelot. How'd that sell?
Yeah, that could not have sold well.
No, I
Because
doubt
like,
it.
who's going into a comic shop going like, oh man, I'm really excited about Lancelot and Guinevere.
I mean, this was, comic book adaptations of movies were big, obviously, at the time because this is a time pre-home video and stuff like that. So one of the ways you could relive a movie was by buying a comic book of it. But I would have wanted to forget this movie instantly.
Yeah, and also, and most people didn't see it.
No, it doesn't seem like this thing did much
They probably were like,
business.
what even is this?
Yeah, I mean, I would have picked it up as just like, what is this, some kind of Lancelot comic?
Yeah, I'm guessing people just thought it was that.
Yeah. And then I would have
And
read it
then
and been
probably
like,
went,
this stinks.
no thanks.
This is boring.
12 cents on that?
Yeah. What a waste of 12 cents.
Yeah, that's a waste.
By the way, comics were 12 cents.
That's pretty affordable.
Yeah.
Man.
Okay, so that really is the thing about the movie. I don't have much to say. It's super boring. There's just a lot of scenes of people kind of staring at each other, or there's a lot of scenes of the same stuff happening, right?
Yeah.
Just a lot of like, here we go again, another scene where they're like, I love you, but we can't be together.
That is most of the movie. Or then like Guinevere's like, oh, I don't know, unless it's like, oh, come on, we love each other, like,
oh, come on, baby,
back and forth.
come on, baby,
Yes.
It's me.
I don't know if I'm saying come on baby that much, but,
Oh, he did. It was in there. You weren't paying attention. It was all over this movie.
That's Lancelot's
It's a
catchphrase
bold
in this
new
movie.
take on Lancelot that I, Cornel Wilde, wrote.
Yeah.
By the way, Cornel
It's
Wilde
just
wrote this under a pseudonym.
much love.
I don't know if that was like a guild
Oh.
thing. Jefferson Pascal. In fact, I clocked that name, and now that's Cornel Wilde.
I was like, that's an interesting name. Is Jefferson Pascal.
You know why it's interesting? Because it's fake, and it's Cornel Wilde.
That makes more sense now.
Screenplay by Jefferson Pascal. Yeah, it must. Once again, I wish there was any info. My guess is it's some sort of guild or something, union rules
must
about
have
why he
been.
couldn't.
Yeah, because I don't know why he would.
Yeah, because
why
he's
he would
credited.
not.
Yeah, but he must have not been in the Writers Guild or something.
It was probably that.
Yeah, and so anyway, Lancelot and Guinevere. We already talked about the box office of 1963 because this is the same year as Sword in the Stone. So go watch Sword in the Stone. Yeah,
I said I'll take back everything I said about Sword in the Stone and the first movie we watched.
Knights of the Round Table. Yeah,
they're much more enjoyable than this was.
well, Knights of the Round Table, if anything, has like the opposite problem, which is it's just like boom this scene, boom this scene, boom this scene.
Yeah.
But you're like,
there's
at
so
least
much happening that you can't like.
at least it was like had a propulsion to it, right? Like that's the thing about right.
This one just felt so slow.
Yeah, this
We're
thing.
just like, oh my gosh, how is this?
This
so
is so far the most forgettable movie we've watched, and I you know,
Yes.
there's a reason it's been lost to time. This is not an undiscovered gem, you guys. This is
No.
This does not
You
deserve.
can you can skip this one.
Well, let's see what people
Even though
thought here.
there's multiple free copies on YouTube.
Oh, it's easily accessible. It's very watchable in the fact of how available it is, but not how it is as a film.
No.
Let's look at some highs and lows, as we often do here on the show. We often do. We always do. Highs and lows, folks. This is a brief one that comes to us from Bruno Caranti234, who writes, simply titled, one of the worst movies either of King Arthur or anything.
Wow.
Bad acting, ridiculous storytelling, bad dialogue, and unexpected changes of scenes. Is King Arthur that idiot and he can't see Lancelot getting too chummy with Guinevere? The characters couldn't see how rotten Mordred was? Stay away. Better to watch Godzilla smashing Tokyo once more. P.S. There is nothing to be changed. A bad movie for eternity. 1 out of 10 stars. Piss this guy off.
I don't think I've ever said a bad movie for eternity.
Yeah, you just just throw it in the fire. There's nothing that could have helped this thing.
I do. Is that idiot supposed to be Arthur?
He's so dumb.
How did he get to Godzilla? Did that come out the same?
I like that in the no, I don't know. The original definitely didn't. I just think that in his mind, it's like, what's a dumb thing that can at least be enjoyed? Like a Godzilla movie, maybe. Maybe that was his point.
I'm sure that is more entertaining than this.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I've ever seen a Godzilla movie. I'm just not realizing.
Oh wow, not a single one.
I don't think I've ever seen a Godzilla movie.
Wow, that's a big thing to admit.
But I would assume it's more interesting than this.
Yes, at its best, and certainly a lot of them are at least more fun.
Yeah, I wouldn't have thought to compare them, but
yeah. All right, here's someone though
so
with maybe a different opinion than that. This comes to us from G-Man Rocks.
Okay.
Who just titles the review simply "The Sword of Lancelot" or "Lancelot and Guinevere." Well, they sure don't make films like this anymore, and I agree with the comment. This film rocks. The battle scenes alone were way ahead of their time with gore and spectacle. I'm going to pause right there. That is actually something I noticed. I will say the movie is more violent than most 1960s films.
It does get at times surprisingly gory.
Like you see a head cleaved in half in a helmet, but still. And at the end of the movie, Lancelot chops off Mordred's arm, and you see it cut through his arm. There's no gore or viscera or anything, but it's still like a blade going through someone's body. I was surprised.
I was also surprised during one of the battle sequences that Lancelot's squire? I don't know what that guy was to Lancelot. Yeah. He's a young guy that Lancelot's taking under his wing.
Squire
gets shot in the head with an arrow and dies.
Yeah.
He's and you're whoa!
That I will give Cornel Wilde credit for sure. We've been banging on this movie, but I will say there are moments of violence that feel very modern, like that all of a sudden arrow just shoots this guy as he's talking to him.
But what doesn't feel modern is that you don't get any sort of emotion out of Lancelot, about that kid dying.
Yeah.
Or that he feels responsible, or there's any sort of emotional reaction from Lancelot to that.
Right.
We just move on, and he's back with Guinevere and whatever, and we don't talk about it again.
So continuing the review here, it was the first time I'd ever seen a man cut in half by a sword. It shocked me. I saw this film for the first time when I was a kid, and it stayed with me through the years. It is solid acting by Cornel and the cast. Indeed, when I think of Lancelot, I don't think anyone portrayed the medieval knight better. I'm going to have to disagree on that. I've seen some better Lancelot portrayals.
That's correct.
This is one of the movies that once you start watching it, you were glued to the screen. Agree to disagree on that. A great period piece. If you have seen this movie and enjoyed Cornel's acting, the films The Naked Prey and Gargoyles definitely made a splash. 10 out of 10. Gargoyles is a fucking wretched film, but The Naked Prey is a good movie. But yeah, I can't believe he brought up Gargoyles, which is a stinker-rooney of
He
epic
thinks
proportions.
it rocks.
That's 100% an MST3K movie. They definitely did Gargoyles.
It sounds like one, Gargoyles.
1972, I believe, Gargoyles, yeah.
Wow. Does he use rocks in all of his reviews because it's in the name?
This is his only review.
Oh, wow.
The only review he's written.
The only thing they thought to write a review for was this. Wow.
Yep.
That's random.
Yeah.
No, I can't agree. I mean, yes, there is gore.
I mean, 60 standards of gore were, yeah.
He's definitely not the best Lancelot.
No.
I have not seen all the Lancelots, but I can name better ones.
Well, do you want to talk about what we're talking about next week then? To talk about who's playing Lancelot in that movie?
Who's playing Lancelot in that movie?
We'll get a big slab of Italian beefcake that is Franco Nero.
Oh, okay.
In Camelot. Boy, if you thought this one didn't have the majesty, the pageantry, strap in for the Broadway epic that is Camelot next week on the show. From 1967. Well, I mean, it's a big stars, big production. It's Richard Harris as King Arthur, Vanessa Redgrave as Guinevere, Franco Nero as Lancelot. It's big and colorful, and once again, an adaptation of the Broadway hit.
We've definitely upped the star power.
Big time, yeah. This is an epic, a 60s musical epic, as only the 60s could deliver.
I mean, I do like a 60s musical.
For sure. Yeah. I saw this once a long time ago. I haven't seen it in so long. It's not one of my musicals, Camelot, although I was very curious to see the Aaron Sorkin updating of it that was on Broadway a couple years ago.
Yeah, that was fairly recent.
Yeah, where he sort of, refreshed the book of it and kind of modernized a lot of it.
Yes.
Which I know,
this was
purists don't like. Obviously.
That was. Some people don't like when you do that.
Yeah.
This one was. I haven't seen.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't have it, so.
No, this is not. Yeah, we didn't.
That I grew up with.
Yeah. No. This is also another example of Julie Andrews did it on stage, but not in the movie.
Oh. This is a My Fair Lady situation?
Yeah, the same thing happened here. And it will also be in classic 60s fashion. No one is doing their own singing.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Because that was...
That's just how you did. That's how you did it back then. That's how you did it back then. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, obviously there's... I won't get into the stuff with My Fair Lady and the singing.
Right.
But, man, so these just would have all been Julie Andrews.
I mean, she was the star. If it wasn't Julie Andrews, it was Barbra Streisand, right? Like, it's yeah. It's so that'll be next week on the show, Camelot, all 3 hours of it. Because this was back.
It would have been 2 VHS tapes.
Yep, 2 VHS tapes.
Matt as a kid watching old 60s musicals, and they
let
were
me
2
quickly
VHS
check.
tapes.
I'm almost certain there isn't, but let me just quickly check to see if Roger Ebert had anything to say about Sword of Lancelot. We'll hear from him next week for sure. Did Roger? Did you catch this one? And Roger's response is no, he did not. Okay, that's what I thought.
That's fine. That's fair.
Yeah, but we'll have his thoughts on Camelot. Obviously, I think starting there is about
sense.
where he's starting to review movies. So,
well, that's a big one.
Yeah, because normally we check in with Roger if he has a review, but he doesn't for any of these. Yeah. All right. That will wrap up this episode. Of course, if you want more from us on the Punch Up Entertainment Network, you're going to want to head over to our Patreon page, patreon.com/punchupent. That's punchupent. Get cool exclusive bonus content and help support all the shows here on the network. And make sure to check us out on YouTube, and that's youtube.com/@punchupent, or that's at Punch-Up Entertainment. Sorry, youtube.com/punchup or at Punch-Up Entertainment. YouTube has to throw that ad in there that always trips me up. And make sure you like, comment, subscribe, ring that bell for notifications so you never miss anything from us on the Punch Up Entertainment Network. But I think that's going to do it for this week's episode. Until next week, the case file is closed.